Friday, November 22nd, market analysis is Stan Ehrlich. Good morning. I still have this cold, bad voice. Sorry about that. And I'll try to get through this as quickly as I can. I won't be able to go into any detail on the Santa Claus rally, unfortunately. I will have a YouTube on Monday morning next week, but not on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 days, the end of next week, no YouTube. Sorry. Obviously, Thanksgiving with the family. Now, E-mini did get overbought, did have a correction, a lot smaller than I expected, is making another new high short term this morning. And I'm forced to say that the lows on an intermediate and longer term basis are consistently, which I wasn't expecting, steady to higher than each other, and that defines a bull trend. I don't have any buy signals. I don't have any sell signals for that matter, also. All I have is the overbought condition and maybe a double top. I doubt it. I think this market is going to make new highs for the trend and continue to go higher. The October low really wasn't an October low. You could have said the very beginning of the month or maybe the end of the month, but not really. Not what we had, for instance, last October, and the year before that was spectacular, 2022. So looking for higher levels, but very, very wary at the moment. These price levels and the timing could end up producing a big reversal, which would turn me bearish in a heartbeat. But I can't. It's not behaving bearishly. It's behaving bullishly. So we're probably going to attack the recent highs and make higher highs. E-mini 5 minute, yes. So we keep marching up. Also, you don't see this pattern on the daily data charts, but there was a low on November 15th. And the next day, the lowest low was on the third day. On the fourth day, a little higher low. And yesterday, although there were two of them, doesn't really matter, a low. The line is across the tops. If this very small head and shoulder bottom, excuse me, works correctly, then at a minimum 60.72. It hasn't broken out yet. Neckline slants up a little, closing approximately 6,000 or a little higher. Today, at least, would be a breakout. And I should put this little objective over here. So now as this neckline rises and we don't have a breakout yet, the objective gets a little bit higher, the same slope as the neckline. So next, Spider, not really any changes. That gap was closed, the one that we had on the way down on November 15th. There is still a big gap down to about 580. So turning around would not surprise me, but it's not doing it yet. And I won't get any sell signals because it's not overbought. Next, Spider 5 minute, kind of going a little bit sideways to up slightly today at the moment. Okay. Qs, very similar story. We did catch the top of the market to the exact day. We had a several day short, two of them that did very well. That came down to almost closing a gap below the market, went back up, and is trying to finish closing a gap slightly above the market. So far, it's an inside trading range and up very slightly. Again, I'm very cautious here, very wary, but higher lows, higher highs, no major corrections, no significant sell signals that are still in force. Got to be friendly. Next, Qs, 5 minute, just seeing the detail. Next, NASDAQ NQ, Doji, not overbought, nothing particularly special about current levels. Same commentary, and the 5 minute chart reflects the same thing, except, excuse me, you do have a possible shoulder, same day, same time, next day. Oh, doggone it. I'm sorry. A lower low on November 19th, the head, and then two lows to the right. Day before yesterday, and today. We're nowhere near the neckline. It slants up fairly significantly, but the body parts are there. All of a sudden, some big rally could very well cause the upside objective to be at least 21,390, which I believe is going to make new highs for the whole shebang if that happens. Yep. Okay. Next chart. YM. Been leading the way up. You realize this is the second, if we stay here, highest close for the whole bull market. Very close to making new historical highs. We didn't get any buy signal on the break. That one neither, or that one. We caught that bottom. We caught that, but excuse me, not lately. Same commentary. Looking for higher levels. Period. YM. 5 minute. Same thing, of course, but the 5 minute chart covering the last few days, small head and shoulder bottom, the neckline was crossed yesterday, tested yesterday, and we almost got to the minimum upside objective in one single day. Well, today we did. So we're now above the objective. Pattern is now built, broke out, and succeeded with very little problems. Pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. That little dip there below the neckline is not supposed to be there. All right. Other than that, same story. And we're looking now at the Russell, very strong, up near recent rally highs. Major support, did turn it around perfectly a couple of days ago. And you can see the same thing on the Russell, as I just showed you. The other pattern, what was it? The NQ, I think. Shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, upside breakout. Now that's the dip that usually is the killer. You're not supposed to do that. So maybe you didn't have the breakout like I should have normally plotted the neckline, and that's it instead. And then you move the upside objective up a little bit, and guess what? We already got there. So that worked, no matter how you drew the neckline. And bonds, up 6 ticks. Doji, I'm looking for a major bottom here. If this does turn around and starts to rally substantially and we start to see 119 and higher, I'll be a lot more optimistic about my long-term bullish objective of 150. I've detailed this pattern many times. Notes, 10-year notes. Absolutely the same story, except, believe it or not, we're still short the 10-year notes from September 18th at about 115.15. Yeah, pretty close to exactly that. That's our ER3 short and our trailing stop. Fabulous. Much, much, much better than I expected at the beginning. For now, I think it's about to bottom out, then we'll get stopped out. I don't have any buy signals at the moment. I'm trying. I would love to see a buy signal, but we're just not happening so far. Okay, crude. Big. By the way, we have a gigantic reversal, I believe, in natural gas coming in a moment. Crude, not overbought, rallying a little. I expect some of these resistance areas a little bit above the market to give it some problems, But so far, I don't see a reason for it to turn down except for a little resistance here. Now, keep in mind that the longer term trend here has been across the tops, basically bearish. I'll move that up just a little bit. Okay. And you could say the same thing across the bottoms. They're basically bullish. But where does that bring us? A big, gigantic pennant formation? Well, sort of. Between a rock and a hard spot. I'll wait, but I have to be a little friendly short term. Heading north, bounced off support very nicely. The recent rally highs, I believe, are going to be challenged or broken. We have the same kind of commentary on heating oil, but the obvious thing is the down channel for quite a long time period. Looks like 2 years. No, year and a half. I would not be surprised to see it break this resistance level and come up to probably 2.4. And taking a couple of weeks to do that, we're also close to the major bear trend line on the top of the channel. So I think there's a very good possibility that that's exactly what's going to happen. Modestly friendly, a little bit bullish short term. Next, natural gas has a gigantic, huge bearish engulfing ER sell signal today. And the small head and shoulder bottom that I detailed for you guys with the shoulder on October 21st, the head of the formation, which I got a bullish engulfing buy signal on the exact day, November 4th, and the last shoulder was only this November 15th. We broke out just, can you believe it, 2 days ago on the 20th. Big rally, almost halfway up the objective to begin with. Yesterday, now 75, 80+% to the objective. Today, oh my God, it went up to the objective, around previous tops resistance, tried to get through, it did, a bear trend line, but it's nowhere near closing above it. No bullish breakout. And you got a gigantic sell signal. Bearish as of now, today. Natural gas Christmas contract probably going to come all the way back down to 2.5. Next, we got gold. Excuse me. On the way up. Ever since we turned around at support with oversold conditions, it's gone up every single day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're very quickly getting toward overbought. I think there's a likelihood we'll get up to 27.30, maybe even a little better than that, 27.42. And at that point, get overbought and have a downside correction. Copper, high-grade copper. Bounced off support, oversold condition, a little bit of a rally, didn't really go anywhere so far. We are still short from way back on October 2nd. Really great trade. There's a little green trade line looking great. I think it's trying to bottom out. I need more bullish evidence, but if it doesn't and I'm still short, it's only that the strategy is smarter than I am. And we might see a downside breakout, which should probably push it down a lot more. Hopefully, we're still short the strategy. But my opinion, different than the strategy, is that we're trying to bottom out here. Silver, oversold conditions, rally. You know, we are at the highest closing price from the low a week ago. At the moment, I think we could probably rally up a little bit more here to 32.4-ish, and maybe even better than that. Modestly friendly for silver. We got platinum. We got a sell signal on top. Perfect. Had a great trade out of it. Stop was obviously a little bit too damn close. We got out too soon, but it's a profitable trade. Got down in oversold condition, in support, turned around, and right now, a little resting period. I'm looking for higher levels. Soybeans, very interesting. We are at a significant support area, made minor new lows this morning, currently higher on the day by a little bit. Is it bottoming out here? If I had a big bullish engulfing today, I would say yes. It'd go all the way back up to 1045 or more. Our current short position, I probably should drop the stop down some. I haven't done it yet, but this is adding up with it holding yesterday and today's lower low and a rally, giving me a little more ammo that this market is trying to turn around, starting to rally. So I'm expecting that we'll be getting out of our short, hopefully with a nice profit real soon. Oil, soybean oil, now today, the first day oversold, right at, very close to October 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, whatever, lows, support. Could turn around. Not yet. Lower low, oversold. Current quote down on the day. No support other than recent relatively minor lows. It could drop off more before it turns back up. But because we touched oversold conditions, you got to be careful about any shorts and watch in general for a new long. Next, meal. Oversold conditions lately a couple of different times, hovering around the bottom of a support level for several days now. Very much trying to bottom out, but we need to close above this yellow support level, and it does not do it yet. Doji, sideways day. Let's see if it's trying to turn around or not. If it makes it below 286 on a closing basis, that would be very bearish for soybean oil, soybean meal, I meant. Corn just couldn't break out of this bottom formation a couple of weeks ago. The formation is starting to get ruined because of the excessive sideways price action. You shouldn't be going sideways like this. I don't mind a downside dip and then boom through the neckline, but it ain't doing that yet. This could be a failure. It never broke out to begin with, so it never got started, but the formation is there. It's still there. But again, it's getting damaged a little bit because of the lack of follow through upwards. Too much time fiddling around here. Next, wheat. Maybe a double bottom. We've rallied a little, but it was only right up to a slight little resistance level, yesterday's high, and now making a minor new low. No big deal. One day. Slightly lower close in a few days. No big deal. But the overall trend here is obviously bearish, and I'm thinking that if these lows, which is 546, don't hold, wow, just like some of the other grains, very bearish. Let's look at cattle. Hey, we got the bottom on November 15th, the low day. Today makes a higher high completely. We're not overbought yet. We're not at a resistance level yet. It's simply come back down to exactly unchanged momentarily. I don't see any reversals. I'm looking for a little bit higher, but most of the rally is probably already there. Hogs bounced off a support area, but we didn't get oversold. Hogs could make another new high here and break a resistance line. I'm not real confident about the commentary here. And one more, SQ. This is a stock. I have not had a stock on my YouTube list until just recently. A friend of mine said, check this out. What do you think? And I went, oh my God, that's a 2-year big trading range bottom with a head and shoulder bottom in the last several months that already worked. You're starting to make new highs for 2 years after a huge sideways bottom developing. This should be bullish all the way up to 133 at a minimum. Look what this has done before. This has gotten all the way up to 280. And the major resistance really isn't at until 192 and maybe 150-ish. So this has a lot of upside potentials, big time, in my opinion. And that's what I said a few days ago when it was just starting to break out. Well, I hope my voice is better on Monday. But remember, YouTube on Monday, yes. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, of course not. And Friday, no. But Monday, the 2nd of December, yes. Have a great weekend. Profitable trading to you.